Hello everyone, welcome to another session of the video, that is AFSA, Armed Forces Special Powers Act. So recently the central government has issued a disturbed area, 6 months extension, a disturbed area to the Nagaland. And in the last month we have seen there was 14 members, civilians were killed by the armed army in the Mon district. So let us see, what is this AFSA? What is an origin of the AFSA? Why it is so draconian in nature? What are the committees which were formed? And also, what are the solutions for this AFSA? So let us begin this video with this AFSA. So what is this AFSA is all about? See, this is a mass protest rally against the on the 4th December, that 21 para special forces, 14 innocent civilians were killed, right? So there was a stop killing unarmed civilians. There was hartals, there were strikes to repeal this AFSA, Armed Force Special Powers Act. So what is this AFSA is all about? See, this Armed Force Special Powers Act, a stringent law that allowed the armed forces to use maximum force, to use this maximum force. This was enacted, maximum force in the area declared as a disturbed area. So this armed force was passed on, Armed Force Special Powers Act was passed on 11th September 1958 by the Parliament of India. It grants special powers. So immunity is given to the immunity given to the armed forces, whether it is a central armed force or your army. Clear? So it grants special powers to armed forces in which the act termed as disturbed area. So what is this disturbed area is all about? Okay, what is this disturbed area? And in the states of Arunachal Pradesh, Assam, Manipur, Meghalaya, Mizoram, Nagaland, Tripura, it was there. But in the year 2016, it was removed from the Tripura. The AFSA, Armed Force Special Powers Act, was removed from the AFSA. Later, in 1990, it was extended as the Armed Force Jammu and Kashmir Special Powers Act 1990 in July. In order to stop, see, first it was introduced in the northeastern states in order to curb the insurgency. And here it was used to dealt with the militants. Okay, so first of all, what is this origin is? So let us look at this origin. So origin of AFSA, Armed Force Special Powers Act. Initially, in the wake of partition, there was 4 ordinances which were passed in 1947. 4 ordinances were passed. The first was Bengal disturbed area special powers armed forces, special power for armed forces, this is one. Second was your for Assam, then for the Assam, same thing. Then for East Punjab, because of the Khalistan movement, Punjab. Then for Punjab and Delhi, this is one. And then for United Provisions. This was there. This was the 4 ordinances which were passed. But later, this was replaced by a common legislature. All these 4 were replaced by common legislature called as Armed Force Special Powers Act. Armed Forces Special Powers Act 1948 as a legislature. Okay, this was there for the 1 year. Then it was repealed in 1957. So thereafter, the president, through ordinance, again, the president in the year 1958, 57, 58, 1957, 58, president promulgated an ordinance called as Armed Forces Assam and Manipur Special Ordinance was passed. Okay, but subsequently this ordinance was extended in May 1958, actually in the May 1958. So this was extended to the other places later in the year 1958 by the parliament. Just now we have seen by July it was extended to the rest of the northeastern states like your Arunachal Pradesh, Meghalaya, Mizoram, Nagaland and Tripura. Arunachal Pradesh, Meghalaya, Mizoram and Tripura. Okay, Mizoram, Tripura and Nagaland also. Nagaland. It was extended to these areas. Okay, then which part of our country is under this Armed Force Special Powers Act? So let us see here. Actually, there is a concept called as a disturbed area. Okay, who will declare this disturbed area? Actually, if any kind of religious, communal, communal or ethnic or fight between the region, people of the region, then that area will be disturbed, will be called or will be declared as a disturbed area by, it is placed in the concurrent list. That means both the state as well as the center can declare as a disturbed area. Once if it is disturbed area, then Armed Force Special Powers Act will come into picture automatically. So in Tripura, when the Manik government, Manik Sarkar, when 2000 Manik Sarkar came, they used heavy security forces. They deployed heavy security forces. And they, in the year 2015, they revoked this disturbed area. By revoking this disturbed area, automatically AFSA was repealed. See, in Meghalaya also, except the 20-kilometer border, okay, 20-kilometer border, except that remaining all parts, 20-kilometer that border with the Assam, at the Assam border, remaining all parts have been repealed. AFSA was repealed in 2018. So there was a big hartals, for the AFSAs. Under section, why it is draconian is, why it is draconian? See here, disturbed area means an area which is for the time being declared by the notification under section 3 of the Disturbed Area Act. So who can declare this Disturbed Area Act? Either the center or the state, both. It is written, if it is relations to any state or union territory to which this act extend, the governor of the state or the administrator of that union territory or the central government, in either case, if the opinion of the whole or any part of such state or union territory may be disturbed or dangerous condition the use of armed forces in aid of civilian powers is necessary. In aid of civilian power. So the governor declared whole part or some part also. So section 3 of this AFSA, Armed Force Special Powers Act, says there will be a disturbed area. Disturbed area. Is it clear? So this is a disturbed area. So disturbed area is section 3. That means who can declare it? Either the state government or the central. This section 3, disturbed area, state or central government can declare it as a disturbed area. For what purpose? To aid the civilian powers. Clear? So under this, see, generally the police has to control, the state police has to control the law and order situation. But due to the rising insurgency in the year 1958 and also the Nagaland, the Naga NSCN, Nationalist Socialist Council of Nagaland, National Socialist Council of Nagaland has formed this, even you see NNC, the Naga National Council. The Naga National Council and this Nagaland has formed the disturbed. That means they formed the parallel army. They also collected the taxes from the non-Nagas. Heavy taxes were collected. So Jawaharlal Nehru government at that time, the central government deployed or used this, passed the act in the parliament for the aid of the civilian powers. So it was necessary at that time to give powers to the armed forces. Why? Because to deal in situations like that, insurgency, rising insurgency, they need the powers of police also. And there should not be any law which hinders their functioning. So special immunity has been given to the armed forces or central armed police forces who are dealing in this act. So they were shielded, they were protected. That means in any case for prosecution or to question the authorities or officers, those who are involved in these operations, either by the judges, the Supreme Court or High Court or any other judges or any kind of officials, they need the permissions of the central government. That means there is a huge immunity has been provided to the armed forces under this. And also section, you see, the section 4 says that which is draconian. So section 3, which we have seen, any area can be declared, any whole area or part of area. Why it is draconian? We have section 3. Section 4, see, the parliament passed an armed force in 1958. The act gives draconian powers to the armed forces in dealing with insurgency. The Supreme Court upheld in 1997, but in 2004, a 5-member committee under the chairmanship of Jeevan Reddy. I'll tell you why it was formed, etc. But you see, in the year, the section 4, why it is draconian is, section 4 says it empowers the army to search the premises, make arrest without warrant and use of extreme forces. Search, okay, that is also draconian. Without permission, without warrant, you can arrest it, you can question, you can seize the property, etc. Stipulate arrested person and seized property are made to hand over to the police with little delay. 24 hours, 48 hours, little delay. It has not been mentioned. Okay, so offers protection to the armed men acting in a good faith in their official capacity. Prosecution is permitted only after sanction by the central government. That is why they are section 4, section 5, section 3, section 4, section 6, section 7 says it is draconian in nature. That's why they need to repeal it. But the government, but the army says, sir, without shielding us, we cannot perform. We cannot perform our functions. Is it clear? So these are the main things. See, now under this, introduced in 1958, members of armed forces declared disturbed on account of insurgency. It was forced in Manipur since 1980, and access committee committed under this region. And also, Iram Sharmila has gone to hunger strike, which broke in 2016. And I'll tell you the reasons. What are this? See, this AFSA allows any commissioned officer, warranty, or non-commissioned officer, person of equivalent rank to fire upon use of force against any person acting in contraventions of any law for a time being force in the district. If they are acting against, arrest suspicious persons without warrant, destroy any structure suspected to house or armed dumped shelter from which armed attack are made likely to be made, conduct search without warrant for the evidence to recover wrongfully confirmed persons. That's why innocence, because of this, there was highly misused by the armed forces. Okay, so if you look at this, there were so many cases that are there in this. Why it was armed forces? See, in the year 2019, let us talk about the first one, the 1995. In 1995, where the sources of civilian killings. See here, in 1995, there were 9 civilians killed by CRPF. Okay, 1999. Then there was in 1994, there was a big issue. You know, the Assam tea plantation. Okay, Assam Frontier Tea General Manager. Assam Frontier Tea General Manager was killed by some persons. But you know, army, what happened at that time? You know, armed persons, the armed persons came and they took 9 civilians into custody. When they took 9 civilians into custody, 5 of them, this is 5 young men in Assam, particularly in Assam, the district area was Talap area. In this area, these 5 members were cold. This is cold-blooded murder. Cold-blood murder. But for this, you know, for this, armed persons were court-martialed. You know, in the year 1994, this was, including Major General was dismissed, and they sentenced, all of them were court-martialed. The army personals were court-martialed. And you know, 5 of them, out of that 9, 5 they died in the custody, and 4 they handed over to the police, the local police station. Even when the 5 bodies were handed over, when the postmortem was conducted by the local police, local hospital, they said it is a cold-blooded murder. And for that, the armed persons, including the Major General, was sentenced, dismissed, and they all were sentenced to the life imprisonment. Not only this, but also in the year 1997, you know, there were FIR was registered by Naga police on 21 para of special police who are involved in the firing. And also in the year, you know, in the year 2000, in the 1995, in the year 2000, 10 civilians were shot dead by the army and the RIMS hospital, Impal area. And also there was a woman who was raped who were tortured, raped, brutally killed by the security persons in the year 2004. And for that protest, a group of women launched a nude protest in the front of Assam Rifles headquarters. And because of this only, Irom Sharmila, Irom Sharmila, she went into the hunger strike. In 2016, she withdrawn the hunger strike. But in later 2005, 2006, 2008, Prime Minister Manmohan Singh at that time, he visited this place and gave assurance to the people that it would like to replace more human. See, what he gave assurance is in 2005, 2006, Manmohan Singh, PM at that time, Manmohan Singh gave assurance that AFSA, Armed Force Special Powers Act, would be replaced by more human, which will take into account human laws, human law or human laws will be replaced, which will take into account the legitimate aspirations of the people and the national security concern. For this only, there was Jeevan Reddy Committee, which was appointed. Jeevan Reddy Committee was appointed. And this Jeevan Reddy Committee gave clear that to repeal AFSA, Armed Force Special Powers Act 1958 from the Northeast. But it was not done. Later, in 2016, there was a big judgment came. It was a big judgment. The judgment was Supreme Court Justice Mandan and Lalit. They passed the judgment. Okay. So they passed the judgment. And in this judgment, they said that all the extrajudiciary killings will be, there will be inquiry into the extrajudiciary killings. And that's why, it is so draconian. Honda, that is, it is called as Santosh Hegde Committee. There was Santosh Hegde Committee. Santosh Hegde Committee. Santosh Hegde Committee. And this Santosh Hegde Committee was appointed by the Supreme Court. The judgment which was given to look into the extrajudiciary killings of 5,800 between 2000 to 2013. Okay. So generally, the AFSA is a colonial law. Yes, sir. It is a colonial law which hangs over the heads like the swords of this thing. So AFSA is colonial law. Colonial law which hangs over, our heads like the swords of Damocles, the swords of Damocles. Yeah. So do you think, see, since 1958 or 1947, 48, 57, 58, when the AFSA was imposed in the Northeast, do you think that the main objective for which the AFSA was applied in these states, did it fail? If not, why? See here, actually, the insurgency groups, because of the shielding of these armed forces, the insurgency groups, there was a reports that insurgency groups has reduced from drastic number. Ulfa made as a minor player. Even most of the Nagaland insurgency groups combined into NSCN-IM, Isak Muva. Okay, so many of them. And also this, if you are not providing, if you are sending, see, generally the question arises is, sir, army is trained for the external purpose, right? To fight against external. That means when you use the army against your own people, you are actually abusing the army, because it is trained to fight the enemies, not its own people. So by sending the army to fight its own people and creating uproar, abuse about the abuse of AFSA, you are making an army mentally disordered. So this is an article once they published. So they said this is a mentally you are preparing a disorder for them, because you are using your own people. But army mainly, though it is the, but these states are being supported, insurgency groups are being supported indirectly by the neighboring states, neighboring countries. And also in 2005 massacre, we have seen that in Manipur 35 soldiers have died, and for that we have retaliated also in the first surgical strike across the Myanmar border. So these are the things that are there in the Armed Force Special Powers Act. So why it should be, see, and it is draconian, that's why they said it should be repealed. But without AFSA, we cannot control this insurgency in the particularly the northeast. Okay, so Meghalaya 20, see where it is, in Nagaland it is there, Assam it is there, Manipur, except Impal municipal areas, Arunachal Pradesh, then Meghalaya, Jammu Kashmir. Tripura has revoked, Mizoram 1986 only, Punjab and 1983, lifted in 1997. Is it? So this is about your AFSA, Armed Force Special Powers Act. So in the next video, we'll come up with other topics. Thank you.